Welcome back to the Daughters of the Moon podcast. Mom and I are excited for you to join us for another week, and we're super excited. We are back, welcoming back Nicole Harp. She was on a previous episode 272 with us, Colors of Consciousness. And so if you didn't listen to that one, go back and listen to it. So welcome back, Nicole. We're so excited for you to join us today. Can you give everybody sort of the elevator bio of you, just in
I
case
sure
they
will.
didn't catch the last one?
I will, but thank you so much for having me on. You're always so fun. It's always it is like I didn't know you before, but it is always like I feel like I know you. It's different than the other podcasters. It's real, like we lived in the same town, and I'm just coming over and having coffee and or a cuppa with you. Uh, so I am. My name's Nicole Harp, and I am a professional animal communicator and artist and author. And I do two things that are yeah, well, one I think is super unique. Animal communication is becoming so much more everybody widespread, and people are learning, and that's great, and people are having practices. But I do animal communication, and then I'm a soul painter. And when I say soul, it's the essence or the spirit. It's just I have to have a word, right? And it ended up coming out soul painting, but there's so much more than that. And really I just translate the energy of things. So I could translate the energy of that fern or you or your past loved one or an animal or the water, whatever. So it's just channeling the energy. But I do want to say, like, soul painting and animal communication, they're both here to do the same thing. Animals to show you your inner brilliance, in how they model your behavior and mirror and inspire, and we'll talk about that. And then soul paintings, how it's here to show you your inner brilliance as well, but through paint and the three dimensional form and paint and the surface. So both are healing, both are here to help you with wounds that we came in with, conditioned, whatever, and both here to show you your inner brilliance. So that's my gig. Yeah. Yeah.
Think it is. People think it is because nobody realizes just how important it is to communicate with your animal because they're so awesome. I mean, I know what I've had my last two that I had, and they would sit on me when I wasn't feeling very good. It was like they were feeling my energy of how helping me through my sickness. It's just a wonderful thing you do.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, they know us better than we know ourselves, right? And before you came into this three-dimensional form, all your listeners who have their, love their animal soul friends, we all decided
Yeah.
that we were going to be together because we share the same emotional wounds and, things that we need to work through. So, with that being said, what you said, how your animal attended to you and your feelings, they're so tapped in and they choose their behaviors. They do them all and they choose them at different times, but there's three main behaviors that they choose, and the first one is modeling. So they're modeling behavior. So what is it that we need to learn or a way that we can be? So if I see Ziva, one of my dogs, Ziva, she's just so every day is a brand new day. And it hasn't stopped. Like it's always that enthusiastic that I get to take another breath today. And how awesome is that? And it doesn't matter if it's raining, shining, raining, pouring, whatever, come rain or shine. And it's like it's just well, that's more inspiring than modeling, but I ask myself, like, could I have a little more gratitude today? Because she's modeling that behavior. And so they model behavior for us, and then they mirror, which is what asking us to look at ourselves, what could we be doing, good and bad. Um, in particular, Charlie can be sensitive with a couple pain things that he has that we're working on with acupuncture. And I have to ask myself, like, what's my pain threshold? Am I snippy when I get sick or not feeling well? And, could I trust more? And could I allow my loved ones to care for me more and touch me more and be closer when I'm feeling vulnerable, right? And so, and then the third thing is inspire. Like, what do they do? And that's just, everything is geared towards unconditional love and us learning to love ourselves. Because for humans, that's our issue. I mean, I have it, we all have it. I mean, huge. The more we can do that. But the main thing, the best thing is like I could take it from Charlie. Like Charlie could tell me without saying, forget we're animal communicators here and you're telepathic, communicators. Him showing me that or me paying attention to see that, I could hear it from Charlie before I could hear it from anybody else, especially my spouse, right? So you can learn all about yourself, heal yourself, just acknowledge all that. They're your witness to hear it, feel the wound, the wounds, whatever emotional stuff, the patterns, false baggage to help you release it. And then they're releasing theirs as well. And they just tend to do it a little bit. I mean, and we're a culmination of a lot of things, but they tend to release a little bit faster than we do because they're not wrapped up in that emotion of it. Because they're so out of their ego and so present. So, your animal was feeling your pain and knows to go there because that's comforting for you. And also, it's distracting for you. And, they can take a lot of our pain from us, so you might feel you're feeling better. I don't know if you notice this, but every time well, I'm sure you notice, but it's a bigger idea, but just to be specific, animals in the wild they'll be attacked they'll a prey will be chasing them and well, first of all, they're just like eating and doing whatever, and you'll see a bobcat over here and maybe it's an antelope, and they're just calm and everything until they know and they feel right that click, okay, he's coming they know which one they're coming to get, and so then it's on, right, and then the chase. But if he gets away, we know you got to eat, but please get he gets away, they shake it off, right? There's a body kind of convulsing or shaking, like our dogs do or our cats when they shake stuff off. Like, and that's them, somatically releasing. If we could do that, right? And I've noticed them doing that more. So I'm thinking, well, what can I do that's like a somatic release often? When Charlie's doing it, he does it a lot, and and the other animals are doing it. What can I do? I mean, but there's so much we can learn, right? From
Mhm.
from animals. Yeah. Yeah, they're
So,
brilliant.
well, and I agree with you that like they're not in their ego, so that helps. But I had an experience when I went to my son's house one time, and so I have high blood pressure,
Yeah.
and I had to go for some tests just the next week after that. Anyways, his dog jumped up on me, and it's a bigger dog. And when he did, he scratched me, and he scratched me right in the crook of my L, like where you would get blood taken from. And I
Oh,
said, "Oh, wouldn't that be funny if I went in to get my blood taken and my blood pressure had gone down?" So fast forward, go get my test. My blood pressure went down.
oh,
So I
that's
was
beautiful.
like, how cool is that? That this dog was like, let me heal you, let me help you, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
I truly think they're so intuitive that they just know these things to help us.
Yeah, but you were paying attention. And honestly, like not every person would be as present to say, "Oh, maybe I should go get blood work," but let's think about what were you thinking about at the time or what was kind of going on at your life at the time. Then that happened. I mean, nothing is coincidence. We know that. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of paying attention. And I guess I remember when I first, before I really started doing my personal practice, when I first started getting into metaphysical, you're like, what is that a sign? Is that a sign? Oh, you're like, oh, everything's a sign. But I'm just gonna actually go back to your arm, but it is the personal practice is key. Your daily practice, that is key. No matter what you can take all the trance classes, all the psychic classes, but if you're not practicing, if you're not applying it, if you're not, um, um, what's the word? If you're not, when
Using anything.
yeah, but I just drew a blank. But if you're not living that, and it'll come to me, then then it's hard to kind of see them and know is that. But if anything, it makes you think. Then it's worth it's worth a shot. But what great way to get good news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, like
So
wonderful.
it's funny you talk about blood pressure because yeah, mine when I decided to slow down, I got out of the education. It's a toxic environment education, unfortunately, because there are children. It's horrible. But anyway, it needs a whole, top down, bottom up, top down revisiting. But when I got out of that and slowed down, immediately my blood pressure went down. I mean, cortisol levels, but yeah, and it just puts you in that state. But anyway, we don't talk about that. But yeah, well, congratulations on your blood pressure.
Well, thank
And
you. Thank you. Yeah, I just find it so interesting, talking about animals, just like how intuitive they are, how they, exactly what you said, right? Is to know when to let go and when to let go. And I think that's so important. 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 And I think that's to make you look at these different things to say,
Yeah.
what's happening with me? Why did that happen?
Right.
Right.
Did you want me to bring up what I was talking about earlier?
Say that again.
Did you want me to bring up what I was talking about earlier?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I do want you to bring that up because it is about today we talked about I'd love to talk about like shifting our perspective, how to have a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life for you and your animal, but also understand them better without being
Right.
an animal communicator. But everybody can. I'm going to give you tips to communicate as well. But yeah, yeah. Let's start shifting our perspective. Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that.
Okay. I had a phone call from family wanting to know that they've been seeing animals in their house. They have two animals already. One is 9 years old, and the other one is 14. And anyways, they were saying that they would turn around, they saw this dog at their front door, and they said, "Look," and the dog was gone. But they knew it was a dog because they saw it there.
Yeah.
They said, then a little while later, they looked and they saw the animal back up on their couch in the living room. And when they turned around, they thought it was one of the same dog. And no, the dog wasn't there. It was on the floor on its blanket. So they asked me, why am I seeing this animal coming up all the time? And it doesn't belong here. But it turns out they did have an animal in the past 15 years ago. And so I said, did you have an animal before? They said, yeah, 15 years ago.
Mhm.
I said, oh, it's probably that animal coming back. It's Angel coming back to be with the animals that you have right now. I'll let you elaborate on
Well, no, I
that.
think that's beautiful, but a couple things coming up. Like, so there's, first of all, they both saw, both husband and wife saw the animals.
Not just the husband.
Oh, just the husband.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of energy for them to come back, and for him to say he saw them. I feel, and this is just me feeling, I feel like it was even more than like, when they say I saw, like TV doesn't do it just because, TV has to translate it. So you see a person or you see, but it's not like that. You see him in your mind's eye. But I love that he's trusting his intuition and saying, okay, that wasn't just because you can dismiss it with your mind, right? But I
Yeah.
love that. So part of him actually believed it. Part of him actually knew this, but we all want validation, don't we? And he's
Yeah.
come to an expert, right? So he's going to come ask the
You're the
expert.
expert.
Yeah,
I
you
just
are
don't.
the expert, but he's trusting his gut. So I think this is huge. So the animals already helped him get there, right? The one that's passed and the one he's already helping him do that work. And trusting yourself is huge, especially with men, men too. But so then the animal has to put out some energy to do that, right? To show themselves because so there's the love and the bond that they've created, right? That he probably was missing that animal. Not that you're like writing down all the 100 ways why I miss you, but the things that come up and it's just the fleeting. So there's that. I mean, we can talk it's just as much as you can talk your way out of it, you can talk your way into it. So yeah. And then I think you're exactly 100% right. Preparing him for the other two being of more senior age. And I think that to speak about that, I 1,000% believe in holistic treatment towards the end. I'm going through my one of our dogs, Bogart, he's 17 and he's the first animal that I'm going to walk across the rainbow bridge since I've learned animal communication. The others, it's been, they're not, we haven't had one that passed. We did before. We had 24 dogs in our past and, in our
Wow.
lifetime together. But, um, I'll tell you something else I did was really cool with them. But anyway, he's the first one that I will have the ability to actually. I know we can all do it, but I mean I'm actively walking, communicating with him. And I don't do it like, what do you do? Where are you today? Are you going to die today? I mean, we don't. That's not. But I will say, and then we'll talk about that. I have been getting a lot of my clients. I can't tell you how many animals I have helped clients with that have crossed over in December, the end of December, December, and now January.
Wow.
And obviously, I'm attracting that because I am. I mean, what better a person to and it helps them with that than someone who's going through it. So I feel honored and grateful and lucky. I was thinking like, well, oh my God, are the energies, is the veil thinner? What's happening? But it's because I'm going through that with Bogart. So I'm learning so much by helping these other people with their animals. And I can tell you, um, one of the biggest things, the takeaways from that is people saying, Nicole, those 3 days I got with my animal. And and the animal saying, this is what I'd like you to do. And it's about being, and the humans are being present with them, and they're getting out of all their emotional stuff and baggage about death and dying. And the animals, and it's all different ways that they're animals, but basically the animals are giving me an advance directive. You know, this is what I would like to do in my time, and here's how I'd like to go. And they always, if they can go naturally, that's what they want. But here's a backup plan because I know you, Mom. I know you. You're by yourself, and I'm a big dog, and I weigh a lot. So here's your backup plan. You're going to call this vet to have them come to the house if it's affordable for people. And this is what we're going to do. I mean, they are so thoughtful and caring, but um, I think I really feel that we need to be as okay as we can and get out of our stuff about death and be there for our animals and allow them their free will of choice because they're not wrapped up in the ending. It's not the ending, it's a continuum. And people are, and I always hesitate, like, oh, it's gonna, who am I to say anyway? But the animals, when they decide they have a plan, like they usually have a timeline, and it varies. And I can kind of see them, in my mind's eye, if they show me in their how far they are on their passing, if they're like like translucent or transparent or opaque. Well, they'll show me translucent, so it's fuzzy. It's kind of fuzzy and they're not fully there. They'll show me a percentage of their body, and I'll say they're about 20%, 80%. But I really like to refrain from that because it's not about me and me telling you when your animal's gonna, when your animal's telling me they're gonna pass. It's the relationship, and it's those moments and those days and those minutes that they get that they wouldn't have gotten if they had hurried and relieved their pain, because it's stuff we're projecting on them, right?
Right.
Perceive pain. But to be honest, people think death is, I mean, why is birth so gorgeous and so pretty? Because but 'cause sometimes we know that it's questionable. You know what I mean? It's beautiful, but death isn't, because they're both the same. They're both ushering in a change, right? This beautiful, soul coming and going, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just, you cannot get back that time. Time is something you cannot get back. So I can't tell you how many animals have said thank you so much, or I say thank you for listening to your animal to reach out to me. Because they've been tapping on them, like, on their shoulder, or showing up on the cat, like your friend, like, okay, here's a chance for an animal communicator. They'll see something, or they'll hear something, or a podcast or whatever. So but you don't need to be one to know that, they're getting older and things they can do. Um, but slowing down to see that, because I don't know, there's so many, I don't want to make this whole thing about elderly animals, but it's so interesting with elderly animals because we're so fast, right? And then they end up getting slower. And then really have to dial it down. And so what Bogart is teaching me, that, okay, Nicole, yeah, great job, Nicole. You've slowed down, and you think you're present and everything. Well, I don't think that, but I try to be as much as I can. I know I'm a fast person, but he's like, well, yeah, you just even need to dial. And every day he's like, you need to dial it down just a little bit more. And then he's like, just a little bit more. And he's like, wait a minute, just a little bit more. I mean, and so, like, and I honestly, maybe a year ago when I was talking to you, I don't even know if I've could have taken that much time between my words. So he has taught me such patience and slowing down. And what it gains for me is to see him. I can like, I'll catch myself walking by him, and I'm like, whoa, back up, Nicole. You just totally walked by your dog, because he's like still standing there, like in emotion from 5 minutes to 3 minutes ago. I mean, he's got some cognitive stuff. He's slow. He's skin and bones. He's like a 90 something year old man, with just like skin. I mean, poor thing. You know, And I will tell you, share something, and tell you something, share something with you that he shared with me that I think is priceless for our, your listeners is, patience towards the end. And if you can, put the time in, I know people are busy lives and everything, but um, if you can put the time in to slow it down, because like for him, he needs some hand feeding. He needs me now to go out and walk him because sometimes he will fall over into his poop or whatever. So it's doing that, and he has shared with me that cleaning up his poop, cleaning up whatever, doing whatever, slow. It's no different from what I did for him when he was younger, feeding them, caring for them, walking for them. He still needs to be walked. I mean, for us to project, he just needs to sit and be comfortable. I mean, it's total projection that he wants to sit on some, and we'll talk about that. Um, but he said to me, he said, it's no different from when you fed me when I was young and took care of me and brushed me and bathed me and all that. It's whether you do it with resentment. And I think that goes for humans and animals or
Mhm.
anything, right? I mean, you could think about times that we've cared for people and did we do it out of resentment? And he told me that's where the dignity comes. You talk about losing your dignity. Well, he said it's just bodily functions. It's not losing my dignity unless you were to let me just sit in it, or if you were to clean it up with resentment. And so that is, I think, I mean, that's a kind of compassion that that I'm just so honored that he's taught me.
Mhm.
And I know maybe for most people it's something logical, but it's, I don't, you think you're one way, but then when reality hits you, you're like, well, maybe I'm not so that way. So, yeah.
Well, it shifts things into perspective and about priorities, I think, right? Where it's asking you, like, yes, we fill our days and our days are very busy as people, but I just been asking myself this question a lot lately is it's like, of all these priorities that I'm rushing through life at, what are the really, are they that important? Like, do I need to sweep the floor today, or could that actually wait till tomorrow if,
Absolutely.
my husband or my granddaughter or somebody,
Yeah.
my mom phones me on the phone? Is that not more important than sweeping the floor? Most likely. But I think we just have this mentality that we have to fit all this stuff into our day. So I think when you're talking about this, it's they're teaching us to slow down, put our priorities into perspective.
Yeah.
Slow way down and make our choices. Like, it's going to be an energy exchange. So do you want to, you know as well as I do, scrolling on social media, whatever, before 2 minutes, oh, I'll just do a minute or whatever. It's like whatever time, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's about the energy exchange. What is it? What is the energy exchange? And they're living beings. They're spirits, right? Living full spirits, soul to soul, heart to heart. And we just, they can be just couch ornaments, or they can be, I mean, it is crazy how much time we spend. And if you get, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten through the day, it's getting better. And I was like, all of a sudden I start going through how much time did I spend with them. And we have four, three dogs and a cat. And it does take a lot of time to do it, to be a good guardian. And not like I used to. I mean, so much. And I'm not saying I'm the an ace in the hole, but I'm trying because I enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with my family. I mean, and my spouse is the same way. It's like we don't really, yes, we want to travel eventually, but I do miss them. I miss them when I'm not with them, and or just for a couple, even just going out. It's good to go out because then you even miss them more when you come home, and them too. But let me talk about that when you go away or vacation, or when you just go out to dinner or something like that. In general, it's just something that's been coming up is a lot of for clients, a lot of stasis, a lot of stagnant stuff. It's like if you're not moving backwards, if you're not moving forwards and you're static, that's the worst, right? And a lot of stuff that's been in animals' bodies, that's, whether it's from a past life or past trauma. But all beings want to be wanted, right? They all want to have purpose and be wanted, and be heard. So, uh, having them have a job Just kind of taking a moment, take grounding yourself and looking at one of your animals, your snake. I don't know what animal is it. I don't know your cat, and asking them what is what's their job, and if you ask and you'll get it. And I mean, asking yourself and then looking at them, and you're like, wow, they're really good at that, right? Like, our dogs are really good at letting us know when the Amazon person comes and when
Yeah.
it's time to move, right? When it's time to get out of our chairs during the podcast, when you're working or whatever, and just really thank them for what they're doing. And then if you go out of town, um, hey, look, we're going to go away for 2 weeks. That's like, 12 moons or 11 moons. And here's your job. And, we're going to check in on you and make sure things are going well. And then, telepathically connect with them in the morning and the evening, see how their job's going or what they're doing, and as far as telepathically, let's just touch on that for a second. So what does that look like? Your listeners are like, what is she saying? So there's lots of methods to communicate, right? I mean, I don't know if you have one that you use, but the heart to heart is a great one where you just visualize, take a couple breaths, maybe breathing in, I am, releasing calm. And then, if you're really feeling your heart, you could, to really feel your heart, go think about all the things and people that you love in this world, and that have living in crossed over. Fill your heart with that. Breathing in through your heart, maybe out through the back, in and out, front of your heart and back of your heart, and then just visualizing their heart and a cord going to both. You're connected. And usually when you do that, you'll see them in your mind's eye. They'll put their paw on you, they'll come close, they'll sit on the couch, whatever. And then just start to visualize with pictures what you want to happen, not what you don't. So if you're like, are you on the cat? Are you scratching the couch to the cat or something? You're like visualize what is my cat allowed to scratch? Okay, all I'm showing her all the things she can scratch, but you don't show her what she can't, right? But all the things that she can. So you always want to because they communicate. Well, they use all their clairs. They never were told they couldn't. So, but showing them an image is, and you can use your words out loud or telepathically, and showing them an image, of whatever you want, you know, s- w- safety, whatever you want to show them. And then, yeah, I'm coming back. I'll be 10 days. So say you're going to be gone 11. Okay. I'll be back in 10 days. We'll check on you tomorrow morning. And you do that the next day, same thing. Check in with them, thank them for what they're doing. You'll probably get things back. Oh, we miss you so much. These are the longest 10 days, but that's one thing to do, because when what our it's all about intentions. And if our intentions don't match our actions, that's when we confuse them. And we have great intentions, but yeah, but we don't always follow through. We do.
I do. Yeah. I know I had two animals that have passed away, but with my most recent, she's been gone like what, 6 years now. I miss her
What's her
so much.
name? What's her name?
Angel. Angel.
Angel, of course.
And anyways, recently she's been popping up in my mind a lot. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm here. And it makes me slow down for a minute and go, oh my God, yes, I miss you. And that's exactly what I say. And I still have her ashes at home, sort of thing. So I'll go over and I'll have a look at the ashes, sort of thing, and go, yeah, I really miss you still. Because she was so much a part of my life when she was here. Me both no more, but because she was the most recent that passed. Yeah, she comes around and she.
I, I felt her. Oh, I felt her kind of checking with you if you're interested in
Yeah, I
having
am.
having another animal. No, if you're interested in having another one in your life because you so love. Now, was she smaller?
Yeah,
Yeah, she shows me, and you may not have done this, but I feel like you may have. But I don't know what she looked like. But of course, because of the name, I'm getting, longer white hair and smaller and light. But I don't know if it's a name or if that's what she's showing me, and white and light, like small. Um, but she showed me like dressed up or her dancing on 2 feet. But I don't know if you put, you
oh yeah.
know, shirts and clothes on her. But she's showing me you did. Oh, did you? uh, and that and how much you enjoy. But she's showing me really of when I say she's showing me, so it's like the feeling, right? It's all of it. Um, how much you love to actually hold her like
Oh, yeah.
what that did for you. Not that you're missing the holding now, but you are.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean in your life, and I don't mean that you. I don't know if you have a husband or not, but I don't. I don't even know that about.
I have a mate. Yes.
Okay, mate. Right, husband, female, whatever. I don't know, mate. Um, but it's different. She said it's between just you two.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
intimate, where it's just us. You say things to her you wouldn't say to him,
Oh, yeah.
and that it was just so special. The bond, the experience. And more so than most, but she was held a lot, but she said not too much.
No.
Like you didn't overdo it where you're carrying her around and she's some, purse, but
No.
she, but
No, she wasn't.
it was, but she wants you to know that you and she enjoyed it like as much as you did. And I asked her just then, is she going to come back into it and reincarnate? And she doesn't have any plans on doing that right now. And um, but she is asking you about whether you're interested, and she will be part of sending you another. And that's the thing, you ask animals if they're going to reincarnate, and they may have every intention of doing so. But if it's not what you need in your life right now, then you're not going to get them back. And hopefully you have grown and changed. We know you have. And so, but maybe we will, and you will be together, but that's not what she's showing now. But she is going to be part of if you do. She shows you getting not a super young one, but already trained. Like in that. Like here's you know what I mean, like quarter there, not super. One, two, two, three, four. Not super young and
Right.
not much older, and definitely a rescue.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a rescue. And now she's showing me maybe even we got to stop talking about it because she's really excited about sending one through a friend or something. Yeah, like you get a lot of threads through people that is a lot of threads of things that happen to you. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, well, if you show any kind of she's excited about it. So
Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about
for you, she said, for
Yeah.
you.
it. Definitely for me. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because, yeah, I miss her.
She also said, "Do you play music or you used to play a lot more music than you do now?"
Oh, yeah. I love music. I love
Oh
music.
yeah, she said keep that up because you love that. Like you
Oh,
love that
yeah.
of animals. So, keep doing the things that you
That's
love.
true. It was making me cry.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
what
that's
brings you joy?
beautiful.
Thank
Oh.
you.
That was what I picked up too, was
Yeah.
not, I didn't talk to
Are
her,
you
but
crying?
Yeah.
Door, let it out.
I definitely also picked up on a new one and her leading her to a new animal in her life that
Yeah.
she needs that right now, and that's what's calling. So
I feel like she's saying your mom's worried about it being too much for her. But it won't be too much for you
Right.
because you're logical and you're not going to get a 200-pound animal. I mean, you're not going to. Yeah, and you're real good at problem solving, and you're very attentive, and you're a great human guardian, and it won't be too much because the one that you adopt, or two small ones, but just kidding. The one that yeah, the right surprise. It won't be too much for you because it won't. And she said you would rise to the occasion anyway, so you're so
Well,
resilient. Oh, she could talk about you forever. You're so resilient. All that stuff in your 20s and 30s, and you just anyway, when you keep going, keep going, keep going.
yeah.
And she's actually saying you don't keep going, you recharge, you recharge, you recharge, you build momentum, you build momentum. Let's just
Yeah.
continue to do a session for you. I'm just kidding. Uh, anyway, she's
Thank you so much.
what a sweetheart. What a little. I don't know why she's saying this, but she's calling her a little ducky. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know
She
why
was a
she's
little sweetheart. She was.
a little sweetheart. Yeah,
She was. She loved everybody. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She
great.
did. Yeah.
Kind of like you. Well, kind of like you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
kind of, if you think about it, if you think think about animals, and words matter too, like the way you may describe your animal is probably you describing yourself. But if I look at her and you're saying, how much she loved everybody, and really you're talking about yourself because you haven't, there's not a, you can be out at the store. I don't know you, but you can tell me if this is validated, but you can be out at the store and you haven't met a stranger. There's no, there's no one's a stranger to you. You
No, that's true.
will, if someone talks to you, you will talk to them. It's not that you're
Yeah.
running around trying to make friends because, you're good with that, but you'll talk to, you're very kind and open and people feel that.
No, I
Um,
think,
yeah. But
yeah,
like
that's true.
yeah.
That's very
I
true.
will call Charlie a pistol sometimes, and I'm like, okay, well, what am I saying? So he's a pistol because we'll go out and he'll try to eat the cat poop when he's out off leash and do all these things, these things that are not what I would, and I'm like, okay, well, is that like, do I see myself as kind of that, uncontrollable, that kind of out there pushing the boundaries? Absolutely.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes
yeah,
I just want to say, way to go, Charlie, way to push those boundaries.
Yeah.
He definitely knows what he wants. He's interesting, but
yeah.
yeah, but words do matter. I just want to touch on that. You know what? I should probably let you all talk because I feel like so much the animals have prepared me, but um
No, I think it's great. And I love how we're talking about this because and how much they mirror us. Because I was thinking about the last um, animal that I owned, and I always said one thing I loved about her is she had such an attitude,
She
right?
did, Gypsy.
And then I was just like, oh, does this thought mean I have attitude? Or clearly I do.
yeah,
So I love how you talked about how they mirror us,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
And
they do.
so
And yeah, well, actually, it's more spirited, right? You
Yeah.
could say attitude, but so let's talk about words because words matter, and not that attitude could have, especially with women, unfortunately, a negative connotation, right?
Right.
But it's more what. Tell me the name of this animal.
Gypsy,
Gypsy. She's a little bit short hair, a little bit larger, medium size.
yeah,
I don't know what I'm getting.
smaller, but yeah,
Brown,
little chunky.
a little brown, thick. No, she would say thick because she was
Yeah, okay.
muscular. She would say thick because she was muscular.
Yes, she was.
She was muscular. Yeah, she's muscular. She's fun. Yeah, she's fun. Was she brown and let me just tell you what she's showing me. Brown and black, kind of ears, pointy ears, mix between I don't know what she was a mix with, but brown and black, and then I see some spots. And just because they're showing me that doesn't,
She
it's just
was fun.
interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting what she's showing me. I don't know if that's close. Is that kind of
Yeah,
close?
she was brown for sure, and she
She
was.
keeps showing her looking back like that, but
Yeah.
she's muscular, she's spirited. She's fun, She just knew how to have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. She would bring out the best in you and
yeah,
keep you on your toes and
yeah,
Yeah.
keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
But you were young. When did you have her? You were younger, so
I was
that
young. Yeah.
yeah, there was no problem. You were like, boo, 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 you two, she said you two were doing it together. You were just hitting the streets together. And I don't mean hitting the streets, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, hitting the
Yeah.
streets together. Yeah.
But I just love that, and I just think it's thank you very much for that.
Well, listen, one more
Yeah.
thing. She said if
yeah.
you were girlfriends, you'd have the same jewelry and stuff. And if you were girlfriends, you'd be wearing the same bracelets,
Yeah. Yeah.
going out
I
for
believe
drinks.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's awesome. 'Cause I know we'd go on walks and we'd have these communications, and I'd be like, "Don't poop outside of the yard. Just poop in the yard." So I'd be hustling, and she'd have like she was a little bit smaller, right? Medium sized kind of ish, but these little legs, and she was like, "Hold on, mom, hold on." Then I'd
Yeah,
say, "Do you want to go for a walk?" She'd be like, "No."
no.
You're way too fast. I don't want to pick up poop. I only
So
want to just get it in the yard. Actually, my ex-husband used to pick it up, so it was like, if you get to
gotcha,
the phone,
gotcha.
Dad will pick it up.
So it's funny. She probably wanted you to
Slow down.
stretch a little bit. Yeah, stretch a little bit. A lot, a little more, less controlling and more in a kind way. I'm saying that.
Yes.
More. Yeah, yeah. And it is about that, isn't it? Meeting them halfway because it is all about giving them choices. When I say words matter, like it's the way we describe it, the way we talk to them. Words matter. And like for they have free will. Animals are sentient beings capable of opinions, likes, dislikes, feelings, emotions, and free will. And we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to allow them because we are invasive, we're controlling, um, all the things I've been, and hopefully I'm working. But and we need to allow them to be themselves, to have free will, to make as many choices, i.e., especially end of life and their death and dying. It's their life. We just, they just paid us to, help them through it. I say they pay us for that to make those good hard decisions. But more the more decisions we can allow them to make and free will, but with choices. So Charlie, he's the most, we let him lead because he's the most strong-willed that way. And when he's gone Ziva, the small 7 pound can lead, but he leads the walks. And so, it's a matter of give and take. And we when we go out, walk down the driveway, because let's talk about walks. Walk down the driveway. If he wants to go right, which is a way we don't want to get, it's not as pretty as the other way. We really prefer the left. But we had to say in the beginning, okay, Charlie, we can go right to that side of the street that and more traffic, all that, once a week or twice a week, whatever. And then we gave him a choice, but today let's go this way and we'll do it once or twice a week. And he turns left. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for that. He just because he made that decision. People think they don't. People think, oh, I just told you to do that and we did that. But he made that decision. Let me tell you something. Animals can make our lives a lot more difficult if they wanted to, but they are consciously making decisions to make our lives easier because they love us and they want us to succeed.
Yeah.
And then if I know if he first wants to start going that way more often, I'm like, nope, I'll have to go in my head. Nope, we went Tuesday and we went Thursday. That's your twice for the week, and then he'll go the other way. And then, with lengths of walks, I had him test. I got a podcast later. Can we just go 2 blocks? He only went 1 block to make sure I had plenty of time. I said, thank you so much, Charlie, because, we've got Bogart 17 and he's in the dog carriage, and those two have a certain pace. So I'm extended like this, right? And then I have Bogart has to get out because motion is lotion. You've got to have the older dog still moving, right? Especially with cognitive stuff. So Bogart's in and out of the carriage, and it takes an hour to do a couple blocks. But what more important things do I honestly have to do? Segment your day so that you have your work here. And, it is just, Kim and Barb, it's really about shifting your perspective. And it's exactly what you were talking about. What brings me joy? And especially with a living and spirit here that you chose to come in with to learn all this stuff. They want you to learn it now. They want to learn and release it now so that you can continue on the other side because everything we do here until we pass over, we're going to be doing over there and hopefully better. And the more we can do here in the physical form, which is the hardest, and we know that it's
Right.
dense here, it's dense. The more we can do here and release here, the happier we'll be, the more present, and then the easier we'll be, and the more we can learn over there. Um, but words matter, and everything you're asking them to do, try and give them a choice and then thank them for the choices that they make. Thank you so much for that, Charlie. Please don't lick your leg because I don't have to put the mousse on it and blah blah blah. And then when he does stop, I thank him and then redirect. Right? It's just yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
true. I have another
Here's
story. My one dog, his
I
name
love your
was Buddy.
stories.
Thank you. His name was Buddy. And so when Kimmy got Gypsy, Buddy would be upset if we gave Gypsy trouble for peeing in the house. So he would push her out the door and he taught her how to pee with her leg up. So Gypsy always peed like a boy.
Yep.
So when I got Angel, same thing applied. He didn't like her getting in trouble because she'd peed on the floor or whatever. So he'd push her out the door. So she also peed with her leg up.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Bogart learned to pee with all the girls, not with his leg up. He till this day does not pee with his leg up
Oh, that's good.
because
That's
we
funny.
had like 4 females.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh,
Yeah.
they are always looking out for their mates, right?
Yeah.
Booker would go to the door and he's like letting us know, like tapping on the door and can't see much, but he's hitting on the door and he's like, Bogart and Ziva are here. Come let him in. I mean, just the sweetest, he's the kindest, sweetest. But they do, and and the dynamics between them are so interesting and different. And
Yeah.
he talked about your friend seeing an animal, his animal spirits. When we first started talking, and then the other animals changing and their roles changing is another sign that the Bogart's crossing over because his role has changed completely and other animals have picked up roles. They can even be cranky. Charlie's cranky with him because if you think about it, I was out with Bogart walking him and um, out in the backyard, and I thought, I don't know if there would be. I'm so thankful that my schedule allows that I can actually be out there, look at the beautiful water behind our house, and walk with him so he doesn't land in his poop. I mean, there is an end thing, so I don't have to bathe him all the time. But Charlie's behavior has changed and I thought, wow, in the wild, you would be gone already. You know what I mean? But he's like Nicole, but we're not in the wild. I'm domesticated, and so it's just like he's always checking me, and but Charlie treats him differently now, and he's kind of a little snippy with him, and he's not, and so it's just interesting to see the dynamics and how they're all. Yeah, they don't miss a beat. They don't see him as old. They do know he's older, and there's an element of that with the snippy, but they're like, you need to fend for yourself. If there's something you want, Charlie puts his head in there and he's like, you need to come get it if you want it. So, but anyway, it's really a crazy learning lesson, isn't it? Animals,
Oh,
um,
they're
and
beautiful.
and nature.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're so amazing. And, I was just talking to my brother last night and they just rescued another dog. So now they have three dogs. And this
Wow.
one's a bigger one. It's like a Great Dane, he says, if
Oh
he had
my.
to guess. And the other two are smaller. And so he just said, but it's a rescue, so having a hard time, you know, getting outside to go to the bathroom and things like that. And I've said, well, it will become easier because the other two will probably help
Yeah.
the dog get out. And I said, he says, yeah, I hate stepping in the pee, but I'm getting so that I'm like, okay, you woke up, let's go for a pee outside, right? Let's
Yeah.
like they train us too, right? Like, hello, this is what I need. And
And
I think it's great.
well, I mean, I'm so excited, but this, I mean to cut you off. Sorry, you're still talking. But they need to move. Animals need to move. To think that an animal doesn't need to walk is well, and let's talk about that. So walks are completely different from exercise. So we walk them because that is part of their confidence. They're collecting information. They need to know everything in one sniff. They can tell you everything that's going on X amount of miles. I mean, they need that. They need to know. If not, it's going to make for an anxious, not well-adjusted animal. So, which is over there, people have one. He never gets walked, and he's a terrier. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? But anyway, they need to walk, and they need to walk to walk. Not for exercise. If you want to walk for exercise, and go do it by yourself, or if you have a younger dog, fine, walk them to walk and sniff and smell to cover ground and then go take a walk with them or walk by yourself. But that is so key. And, I can't tell you how many clients I have that are like, oh, my cognitive older dog is just pacing and crying. And I'm like, you have to continue to walk them. It calms them down. It gets that physical stuff out of their body. I mean, they have to move. And for his joints, their joints and their body. And it's different from letting them, oh, we have 10 acres. It's not the same. It is not the same. So animals think in files. Temple Grandin's great book on Temple Grandin, but they think in files. And so they're on a leash, walking, roaming, that with you, their guardian, connected through the leash, heart to heart. That's something different. On collecting information, they're out in the yard, a fence between them, or no fence. Still, fence, separate file, with a fence, separate file. On a leash with a fence, separate file in their minds. And they need the walking. Yes, they need the cognitive stuff. They need the puzzles. You don't need to go to Chewy and buy a puzzle to put treats in. You can get some plastic cups or whatever, make them sit and then go put all the puzzles underneath the treats under the cups and then, lift up the thing and let them go. And then they get them all I mean, what you can come up with them. They love when you co-create with them, co-create, fun things to do, because it's getting you to use your imagination and creativity that we came in with. And I used to think only artists were creative and could do creative endeavors. I mean, that's what I was told, right? I went to, the school, VCU, that's what they said, you're special. Turns out I'm not special. Everybody has the creative ability and and they really want us to help. The animals really push us to think in a way that is exciting and new and co-create with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not just asking them what's wrong today or whatever. It's like let's what can we do today and co-create an experience together.
Yeah.
It is really a shift in perspective until you live it, and I'm still not fully there. You don't even you can't even get it, but it does require slowing down. It does require presence, and it requires them to be active, us to be active participants with them. So
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, I think they, like you said, they mirror the things that we need in our life, which is
absolutely,
creativity, which is checking in on ourselves, which
love,
is moving
self-love.
our bodies,
Yep,
having
absolutely.
that
Yep.
unconditional love. I think, so I think it's wonderful and we appreciate you telling everybody all this because I think, it just really shifts perception for people to be able to say, oh, I didn't realize I could have such a great friendship and
Right.
communication with my animal,
You're
right?
wonderful.
So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. I just
Wonderful.
say one more thing about you could do the heart to heart, or you could just sit or stand and then and always do it before you go out with them somewhere, right? Our intention is to do this together. Always put that intention out there, but just allow yourself to expand, and then you'll start to feel their presence expanding into your space. And they're really, asking us like, are your beliefs about your animals limited? Or are they expansive? Because that's telling me what you say about yourself. I'm limited. Yeah. Or are you expansive? And one way to really get close to them and feel their spirit is to allow your presence to expand and them to expand in yours. And it's like, wow, there we are. We're just together. And it's beautiful. It's
It
beautiful. It's
is.
safe. It's beautiful. I wanted to tell you that if your is it your brother you said that has
yeah,
the
yeah,
so
just got this rescue.
I do so many pro bonos a month if you want to reach out if he believes in that, I don't want to because
Mhm.
there's a if someone's not asking or not open, then it's going to fall short. It's going to fall, the
Yeah.
animal's going to know because the animal needs them to. So if he feels like he wants a reading, I'll do a session for him.
Oh, well,
Pro,
thank you.
pro bono. Yeah. If it will help, if he's got some things he'd like to find out and,
Okay, thank you.
or
I'll
work
share that
on,
with them.
yeah, because I so applaud him for rescuing because, yeah, rescuers,
Yeah.
they need,
Well,
yeah.
it was funny. I said to him, I said, because they live like in the middle of like just outside of Toronto. So very, very busy area. And they have, what do they have? Three cats and a bird, couple birds, three. And I
Oh,
said to him, I
I
said,
love these people already.
I says, you guys really should live on an acreage because I feel like you'd have even more animals that you rescued. And he goes, that's the goal.
Yeah.
so,
That's our
which is a lovely thing, right?
Yep,
Because
it is, absolutely. But you can already see that he's yearning for slower paced, more open space. And you know that as you go, you need more space, right? Less loud noises, no, not that TV show, less, shut down earlier, disconnect, all that so that you can sleep or you can become, it
yeah,
is. You have to understand like the whole, when we came in as a children, we didn't know we were empaths. No one talked about it. What's an empath? Unless your family did talk about it, then you have to live, you're like, at this point in your life you're like, well, everybody's empathic to a degree, but okay, so I'm more empathic. Well, actually owning that is important. What do I need so that I can function in a way that's healthy and safe for me. And there's so many, if it means more space, more land, more, yeah,
yeah,
less
exactly.
sound, less busy. Yeah, I feel that
Exactly.
way too. And it just makes sense as you get older too, doesn't it?
Oh, it really,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
does. Well, I can't believe this hour is like flown
Flown
by.
by.
It's great. Well, I can because it is like you said. It's just like having a cuppa with a friend. So,
Yeah, that's right. Oh, cuppa.
it's been wonderful. So, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, can I just tell you about a couple big projects I'm doing this year? One, if they're
Yes,
big for
please.
me, fun ones. So, I wrote that book, Colors of Consciousness, Volume One, 25 Soul Paintings, and I'm doing the first workbook, which is a follow-up to that. So I teach soul painting at the Edgar Casey's ARE in Virginia Beach here where I live, and we're going to be putting that online. So I'll be able to reach so many more people, but there's a workbook I'm creating that's like kind of take home after the class, or just that you can get to work on to really enhance your creativity, become more one with nature and animals, really feel that connection more, the natural connection, bringing us home to who we are. And then I'm doing a profound truth deck, an animal profound truth deck.
Oh,
So
cool.
Nice.
the front of the card is the soul painting of the animal. And the back of the card is the animal's face and their profound truths. And
Wow.
if you want to read those and have your mind blown, on my website, harpspace.org, my website, if you go to the drop down, you'll see profound truths. Just looking and reading those will blow you away. I mean, just again, what a shifting perspective. What they're so complex, right? They're so philosophical, they're so complex animals. But so the back will have the profound truths, the front, the soul paintings. And then there'll be a little booklet on how to interact with, get the most out of the cards. But I think I'm going to do a Kickstarter campaign, and so the levels of what to get, you're going to be getting your animal's soul painting, because I have to paint it to take a photograph of it and put it on the card. So people who donate will be getting the, I'm not sure exactly what they'll be getting, but one of the things is the actual soul painting. So and your animal's profound truth. So I think that's a pretty nice
Wow.
gift. So
Wow.
I'll
That's
let you know
very exciting.
when I put this stuff out there. But yeah,
Yes,
so
please do, because we'd love to have you back on to show what you're doing, because
yeah,
we
I'll
think it's
show it.
amazing what
Yeah, yeah. Here's what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah,
we think it's amazing though that you're so creative and you're so giving, and you just have all of this energy that you exude with people and just give all this information. So I think that's wonderful, and mom as well. Like it's just wonderful getting together with you. And
thank you.
just for our followers, we are trying to plan a live, but we're just not sure yet what that
Yes,
looks like. But it's in the mix also of something that we're going to be doing coming up this year. So which we very much appreciate collaborating with you on that. That's wonderful. So
yes. I'm looking forward to that. That's the other. No, it's definitely. I'm looking forward to us coming up with something where your listeners can interact with us as you do meditations or something. Or what? But we're going to come up with that where just refine. I just need to refine it a little bit so that it'll be successful. Yeah,
for everybody, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So if you had a final thought to leave with us and our followers, what would it be?
I'm gonna just okay. I'm gonna say two things. Bogart just his it told me again to slow way down and to try and interact without judgment. So releasing judgment. And I think that's good for just ourselves. And he's asking about us bearing witness, that everybody wants to be heard. So find the place in ourselves where we can be present and bear witness with our animals.
Wonderful. That is
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, you don't
Beautiful.
have to worry about what
Thank
to
you,
say.
Bogart.
Thanks, Bogey.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the best. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Thanks,
I'm
thanks
not
for the
sure.
messages.
I know. I'm not sure if he said it or Ziva said it or Charlie, because they're all in here. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah, because I
whoever
think,
said it, we
yeah,
appreciate it.
I know.
Maybe
He's
it's
like,
the collective of them all, right? Here's what our
exactly.
thoughts are. We
Yeah.
pooled our thoughts. Bogart's going to present to you.
Yes, exactly.
so,
Right.
so
That's right.
thank you so much for being on
Yeah.
with us again.
So much
We
fun.
always love it, and yeah, it is a lot of fun. So
Until
You're
next
the
time.
best. You're the best. You're the best. High five.
and
All
everybody
five.
else, we'll see
Uh,
you on the next one.
okay. Thank you.